with that, and hand goes up in the air, and almost as by magic, off onto the next race. These are sort of starting thick and fast now, aren't
these
they?
are the junior eights. Headington School, St Paul's School from the United States of America. Now, I followed you and I are lucky enough to follow in the umpire launch, doing a bit of commentating, and I followed St Paul's, and crikey, they looked very good. Headington are the national champions, having won National Schools Regatta, and I think they won the Schools Head.
Yep, absolutely. And
so best in Britain.
I mustn't forget that Headington School have retained this title since 2011. They've held the Peabody Cup in this Junior 8 event at Henley Women's since 2011. Wow. So they are a force to be reckoned with. And actually, interestingly enough, you might like to know that this is actually Headington's second crew in this event, because their top crew is obviously contesting the final of senior quads later on today as junior athletes. So this is athletes 5 to 12.
That is and somebody.
And we've got a very enthusiastic Headington supporter outside of our commentary box, and it is neck and neck. This is unbelievable.
This is going to be one heck of a scrap. As I say, I followed St Paul's the other day. They looked incredibly well drilled and tidy, and if anything, it's St Paul's that have no more than about a foot over Headington.
Oh my word, this is going, and in 8s, if it's this close at 500 metres in, it's going to be this close the whole way down the track.
And there will be an almighty roar as they go through the enclosures. There's a lot of Americans over here, and there's a lot of support for Headington. So this is a battle royal, United States of America, in the middle of the river, Headington.
Oh my word, and looking at that drone footage
England, there. Nearest to the bank, and looking at that shot, it's St Paul's.
Level. It is level. Even Headington, I think, maybe just about ball. Do you not think?
Your glasses are a little rose tinted.
It's on the surge.
Headington are pushing.
It's on the surge.
Headington are pushing, but
37.
See, their boat is dark, so you have to look carefully where the bow ball is.
And actually, having
well, look, it's pretty damn close.
It's very close, and that is a wonderful shot. We're about halfway now. These 8s are very quick, and as we've already said, quick conditions.
How exciting is this? Now, with camera angles, it's always very, very difficult to see. The overhead shot that looked like it was St Paul's had the advantage. Now we're looking at the drone, it looks like Headington.
A seat.
But this is incredibly close. The camera angle will change very shortly as we see the crew's top right going away from us. They are now leaving the boated enclosure. They are pretty much, 500 metres to go, I reckon.
500 to go, so barely anything, less than 2 minutes in an 8. So I think Ryan Domain, obviously, who's been coaching at Headington for years and has developed this wonderful programme where losing isn't the problem, because they never do it. Headington, as I say, they're unbeatable, really. Well, not unbeatable, but they're unbeatable.
A scrap. And it looks like Headington have, at the moment, just got the advantage. Maybe only a few seats.
I think it's about 2 seats to Headington. There you go. So as they come past the camera angle there, Headington just starting to really wind and press through the third of the race.
Unbelievable stuff. I mean, this is junior own at its very, very best. The USA up against the Brits. We're going to stick with that in the top right and just see how that pans out. The next race is underway and on the track at the moment.
That's the senior coxers fours between Newcastle University and Imperial. That is going to be an absolute humdinger as well, so I can't wait to join that one too.
On the Berkshire side, Imperial on the Bucks. But let's stay with this amazing 8s race.
That's right. We've got another course record in the elite lightweight single.
Another course record has just gone. That was the elite lightweight singles. It was a win for Maddie Arlett of Edinburgh. The time was 5:40 and she smashed it by a second.
And two lengths. She won by 2 lengths.
She won by 2
So,
lengths.
Headington now have now sort of cut the cord, and there they are.
Hands go in the air.
Now
what a race!
That's probably the closest race that Headington have had all year, and I'm sure the girls from St Paul's will have enjoyed that as well, because that is racing at its best.
And well done them. Now, senior coxless fours.
Now, one of my very good friends is actually in the bow of this Newcastle crew, and one of my other very good friends is at the 2 seat in this Imperial crew. So I'm in a bit of
Dilemma.
I'm in a bit of a dilemma, I must say, because I would like them both to win, but hey ho, this is racing. That's not going to happen. And as it stands, it looks like Emily Ford and the Bounty, her crew from Newcastle, are taking the lead by about 3/4 of a length. So
I haven't seen either of these in previous rounds, so can't really comment. But I know Newcastle have produced some pretty good athletes.
yeah, I mean they've got 2 under-23 silver medalists in that crew, Emily Ford and Nicole Lamb. They've also got Megan Barry, who's previously of Sir William Borlase, and they've got Lola Anderson, of course, who went to the Junior World. So a very well sort of put together university crew. But Imperial, always very strong and all proper sort of senior athletes. None of them are at university. They're all rowing for the club element of Imperial College.
And you can see there from the picture when they passed us, pretty much bang in line with us. It was exactly a length advantage. We, as I say, are around about the 550 metre mark, 1500 metre course. So they're going down now. They'll be coming up to the halfway point fairly shortly, and we'll get an idea then of the advantage that they have.
Question about this event. In the programme, it talks about the course record being a Coxed 4. Has it just turned into Coxed 4?
So
Frank v Harry Cup?
the Coxless 4 actually is a very new event. So they used to run 4s only as Coxed at Henley Women's Regatta, only as the Frank v Harry Cup. They have now gotten rid of the Coxed 4, and now it is only Coxless. So
this is the first year?
this is the second year of this event, I believe, but I could be wrong.
Don't have a course record.
So it could be the first year that this event's run, because it always used to be senior Coxed and there was no Coxless. So it's interesting. I actually raced this event back in 2013 when it was Coxed. So I know that this is a very new sort of addition, because we had to bump up into a Coxed when we've been training in a Coxless all year. So Newcastle, I know, have added so Nicole Lamb, who's sat in the 3 seat of this Newcastle crew, isn't a student at Newcastle anymore. She's studying medicine at Sheffield, but has come back, as she was sort of club captain years gone by and very fond of Newcastle, has come back to row with them in an attempt to sort of bid for a Henley Women's win. And I think they're doing a very good job of trying to get hold of that at the moment.
If you're a betting person, you probably have your money on them at the moment. So it's a length and a quarter, length and a half possibly.
Yeah.
And they're not letting up, are they? They do not want to be caught, these girls.
And especially when you've got a course record sort of lingering in your mind, thinking, well, everyone before us has got a course record, and I'm sure they'd have been hearing whispers of that through the semi-finals. Even when you're that far ahead, I think you'd want to go for the course record, wouldn't you?
Talking of course records, another one set by Headington.
Oh no! I say, oh no, that's my
So
one.
there we are, there's a result
No! My one's just gone.
there. One lady cries in her burger and chips. I will tell you that the result of the Junior 8s, which was race 355, was a win for Headington School over St Paul's School of the USA. It was half a length, the distance, and the time was 4:51, beating the previous course record, which was 4:52.
Yeah, by 1 second.
There you
By
go.
1 second. So, apart from the first race, that's every other record gone. I'm not sure what's happened to race.
There's
They've
Newcastle.
just
5-2.
paddled up to the start.
Right.
There's Newcastle over the
Well
line,
spotted.
absolutely emphatic. So that's about a length and a half to Newcastle. So congratulations, Newcastle. That is the, as I say, senior Coxless forwards for the Frank v Harry Cup.
And Lizzie's come over from the States. I don't think she's
USA. Australia.
Australia. I don't think you've ever worked so hard. You're scribbling things down here and giving
great.
us
That's
all
great.
this information. I have the brain, which is Camilla next to me, who's just a mind of information. Now, can you tell me the shoe size and neck measurements of the people in this crew? No, seriously, do you know anything about these?
So we've got University of London on the near side. They've entered quite a lot across the course of the events, and actually this is probably the top girls that they have outside of the 4 girls that they've currently got in the under-23 composite 8 that are racing in the final of Elite 8s this afternoon. So University of London, they won the women's Victor Ladorum at the British University Championships, and one of the events that they did win at that particular event was the championship pair. I don't think this is the same crew from what I know, but I could be proved wrong. I don't think it is. But actually, they're currently being led by the crew from Thames, and Thames actually did very well at the Met Regatta, I believe, in this combination. So Thames probably not been as prominent on the women's rowing scene as they have been in previous years. I don't know whether you've come across Thames much more down this neck of the woods than perhaps I have, but again,
They do on occasion come down and use this reach as a training camp, so they have a weekend away. Quite a lot do it. I mean, it's actually more and more each year. But Thames often decamp and come down here, and there's plenty of them out on the water. Who they are and what cruise they're in, I'm not sure. But they seem to have plenty going on, and this looks like a pretty tidy lead at the moment, does it?
Yeah, and actually this is their lightweight pair, which I hadn't. This is the lightweight pairs, which I hadn't realised. Actually, I thought we were on to champ pairs, on to elite pairs, but
it's a close race. This.
Yeah, very close race. I mean, a length, as we were saying in some of the smaller boat races and the singles as well, it's so interchangeable, and the ability to just say to your partner or decide yourself that you're going to go, the boat responds so quickly because it's so light that that length could be eaten up in a matter of 3 strokes.
You've just got to keep the pressure on you. If you're behind in these pairs, you've got to keep the pressure on the crew in front, because putting pressure on them, you've got to be precise.
Now I do know who this Thames crew are. Now in the bow seat of that Thames boat is Natalie Hardy. Now Natalie actually was a lightweight at Newcastle University 2 years ago, and she's sort of rowed throughout her career in the northeast of England. So she started out at Tyne Rowing Club, and so she's been rowing for a very long time. I'm not surprised to see her here in an elite final. She did very well throughout her lightweight career at Newcastle University and had several wins in the sort of heavyweight championship events as well, alongside some of the Newcastle girls throughout her time there. So it's good to see her back here racing for Thames, and I know that, as you say, a length and a quarter up, it looks to me at the moment that UL could still beat them with a shot of it. It really isn't decided yet, and this middle part of the race is often where it is decided, actually.
And they are about at the halfway point now coming up. I think Thames, for me, looked to be pushing away slightly, maybe had a bit of a push at the halfway point.
I think so, and I think they'd just broken clear water when they came past us here at sort of 500 metres in, and now it looks to me that Thames have got about a length and a half of, not of clear water, but certainly seems to me that the Thames crew have this under control.
Okay, if you're watching on the internet from anywhere around the world, we hope you're enjoying the coverage. This is finals afternoon of Henley Women's Regatta, the 30th Henley Women's Regatta. We are racing right the way through until 10 minutes past 4. If you are wondering what happened to the elite pair final, which was Banks and Imperial College, we have seen that go down to the start, so we assume that they're going to slot that in pretty quick, and we will bring you commentary, of course, on that. Results, if you are wondering what's happened, then you can go to the website and catch up on the results. I think, give you the result of the Junior 8s, which was a win for Headington over St Paul's by half a length, 4:51, a course record, beating the old course record by 1 second. The other result that I perhaps have not given you is the senior Cotsness 4, Newcastle University by 2 lengths over Imperial College. The time was 5 minutes.
And we think it's a new event.
And this is a new event, so the course record.
It's now 5 minutes.
It's now 5
They
minutes.
smashed it. They got it.
So
They made it.
It was
as we
5:18.
leave the Thames lightweight elite pair to row into the distance in the top right hand screen, and I think Thames have probably got that well under wraps, so
Yeah.
we'll leave that and we'll go on to